Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, June the 20th. We are starting off with a 26,000 hit point stage 1, basically land where I landed, go to where I flared, and then win like I did. Pretty straightforward, easy base. Obviously don't flare there right away, let your tanks naturally kind of progress there, but definitely end up where I flared. Which takes us to Stage 2. Stage 2 has 43,000 hit points on it. And again, same sort of deal, land where I landed, flare up to where I flared, and your tank should naturally progress into the HQ. Oh, wow. There we go. A little bit of Kablawi to speed things along. Kablawi being the new Batman cheese word, I guess. I don't know. Anyone ever watch that old, like the Adam West like TV series Batman? It is hilarious. It's horrible. It's hilarious because it's horrible. It's some good old-fashioned family values entertainment. I don't know. Anyways, Stage 3. 95,000 hit points on the HQ. Land on the right hand side. Let your tanks just take that natural path around the island, but definitely make sure to drop some GBE on the sniper tower and the cannon in the middle that you saw me basically take out with a barrage. You might have to use like a barrage and an artillery or two artilleries, or you know, whatever fits what you've got available. Definitely use that to take out the dangerous towers, we'll call them. Once you're done, now I flared up a little on the tight side. I don't know why I did that. I would suggest hanging back a little bit. It'll actually prevent at least one of the mortars from having range on you, possibly both of them. But you'll get your win either way. Stage 4 has 241,000 hit points on it, so Stage 4 for some reason this week, or well, not this week, but today, is where the massive HP boost is, which is cool. It's, you know, it's different, but wow. Almost 3 times? It's crazy town. Anyways, there isn't a boom cannon, but the shock launcher there that I just blew up has around 12k hit points, so farm up some GBE on the left hand side here, kind of like I'm doing, and then you should be able to take that bad boy out, and then flare all the way over to the other side of the island. And if you've got medics, this should give your medics time to run around behind your tanks, healing them up. And if you don't, well, then you're going to be in the same boat as me, and you're just going to have a much better attack vector. So either way, it's a win-win. Now, if you are throwing artillery, make sure you shared the artillery with the sniper tower there, because it'll make your tanks go through it a lot quicker at this stage. And once you get up here, now, there is a cluster just to the left of the HQ. You can do a lot of things. You can throw some GBE at it and just kind of wipe it out. You can throw stuns at it, because one shock bomb will catch that entire, I guess, cluster, whatever you want to call it. So you could hit like every building very easily. It's kind of up to you what you feel most comfortable with. Or, you know, worst case scenario, if you just don't have any GBE left, you might have to put up with what's being thrown at you and just suck up the extra damage and, you know, maybe lose a tank or two, but get the win ultimately. Okay, let's move on to Stage 5. So it has 278,000 hit points, and the boom cannon and the shock launcher you can see right here have about 12k each. So I spread the barrage a little bit between the sniper tower and the shock launcher, and then I just toasted the boom cannon, which surprised the crap out of me. Like, RNGesus is on my side. I don't know what I did, but the random dice are with me. Maybe I used the Force. No, No force. Too weak-minded. Alright, so land on the left-hand side. There is actually a shock launcher. You can't really see it. It's way down on the left-hand side. You may need to take that into account, I guess. Not necessarily because it's going to do anything horrible, but if you land your troops, let's say on the grass side of the beach, it may have range down there at the very bottom. Whereas if you keep all your troops to the water side, you should be good. Just, you know, a point of interest, I guess. Or if you're landing something on the right-hand side because you're doing something with warriors, I don't know, maybe it'll matter. Regardless, moving on. So, as you crawl around the left-hand side, you should be able to gather up a bunch of nice, easy GBE. And then all you gotta do is roll in on the left-hand side of the HQ. There will be a few annoying rocket launchers that will continue to pelt you because, well, they're annoying. So, you know, that's how they're annoying. It's what they do. It's their thing. But the good news is, hopefully you've either got GBE to blow them up, or stun them, throw whatever you want at them, whatever you've got available, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Like, worst case scenario, you could even toss, you know, critters in front of your tanks, and it'll distract them. Or just let those rocket launchers shoot away, because frankly, unless you're struggling to keep one tank alive, they're not going to do anything horrible. They might finish a tank off, but they definitely won't wipe you. Which takes us to stage number 6, which has 385,000 hit points. The boom cannons have around 19.5k, and then the shock launchers have around 16.5k. So we got some pretty beefy mofos up in here. Now, I kind of let the tanks stray as they would for the first little bit. Basically just trying to gather up some free GBE from the right-hand side. Just make sure you keep out of the range of the cannon and the sniper towers and everything, because it makes life a little bit easier. And then I gathered everything up and started the march up through the left-hand side. I do realize that the left-hand side has more defenses, but fewer cannons. So I kind of went with it. If you find yourself running short on time, and time being the big thing that you gotta go, you know, that you gotta beat, by all means, you can go that right-hand side, go through those extra cannons, maybe lose a little more in the way of troops, but you'll get to that HQ probably quicker because all the stuff is really low level on that right-hand side, except for those crazy cannons. Okay. So, after pushing into the HQ, you might have to worry about the sniper tower / cannon combo just to the south of the HQ, but if you place properly, you should be able to stay out of range of them without too much trouble. I said too. Ha. Ah. Okay. Also, your tanks will apparently start blowing things up down there and hopefully making it a little safer for themselves. Which brings us to the final stage today, which is stage 7, as we watch the loot pinata spew forth. Now, stage 7 has 407,000 hit points on the HQ, and around 33k for each of these boom cannons. So, we're going to start off with a well-placed pair of barrages and several artilleries to kind of clean that up. And then I landed my troops mid. And the reason I landed mid is basically I wanted to take out the machine guns and possibly flamethrower if I've got range on the left-hand side, just to have a little extra GBE, because, well, I'm greedy and why not? And unfortunately, I mistimed this flare, so I didn't quite get it, but that's okay because I was roaming into boom cannon territory, and as you can see, it had already erased one of my poor tanks, so let's not go back and try that again. Alright, moving up the right hand side, throw a shock on the cannons and the mortar. That's the word I'm looking for. And then basically you can let your tanks just roll up and clear through on the right hand side here. Now, there are a bunch of rocket launchers in the back. If you've got a ton of free GBE, you can try taking a couple of them out. There's also a bunch of mortars that end up throwing some pretty consistent damage on you. So if you'd prefer, you could take those out. Or you could go the way that I did, which was basically throw a stun and take as many out as possible, because I probably wouldn't be able to take them all out with, like, actually killing them with GBE. Anyways, this is basically a win. You're throwing on the cruise control to loot right here and pew-pewing until you get some crystals. Or, well, I guess a crystal. You're guaranteed a crystal on stage 7. Anyways, hopefully this has helped, and thank you very much for watching, and most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. Oh, okay. 2 crystals. Haha!